You guys so much for joining our public webinar for today. My name is Dana. I'm the L&D manager here with Quantic. If you've been to our demos before, you know that we do one of these just about every month. Sometimes we get to talk about some of our new features and products, and sometimes we talk about new integrations. And today is going to be a day where we talk about a very exciting announcement of a new integration, and that is Maple. I have here with me today Aiden. Aiden is going to spend some time with you today talking about this integration, how it can contribute to your merchant's business, and really the great opportunities that you have with that. Now, before we get started, note that if you do have any questions during our demonstration, you'll notice within your Zoom call there's this Q&A field. So go ahead and chime in on any questions throughout it, and we can go ahead and review those as the presentation goes. Then at the very end of the call, if there are any pending questions or any new questions, we can go ahead and take care of that. With that being said, like I said, thank you for joining, and I'll go ahead and pass it over to Aiden.
Hey everyone, I'm Aiden. I'm the founder and CEO of Maple. Thanks, Dana, for the introduction. Yeah, super excited to be showing off what we have built over the last few months with Quantic. Um, yeah, over the next, I guess, 30 minutes to 45 minutes or so, we'll be showing you sort of what the integration means for you, your merchants, and also the relationship that Maple has with Quantic. Yeah, during the course of the presentation, feel free to ask any questions in the Q&A in the Zoom, and Vikram from my team will answer as they come up. And then towards the end, we'll also have a general Q&A where I'll be able to just look through the questions that have been asked yeah, answer them right there. So let me share my screen here. Okay, cool. And so yeah, I'll get started then. So yeah, my name's Aiden. I'm the founder of Maple. Started the company around 2 years ago with the primary goal of making restaurants and restaurant software as easy as possible. And to date, we've grown pretty significantly. We've raised 4.5 million, serve over 2,000 merchants today, and integrate with most major point of sale systems. And yeah, super excited to be showing you guys what we've built with Quantic, as it's one of our deepest integrations to date. And so the problem that Maple is addressing is one that most restaurants experience. Pretty much every restaurant gets calls. And a lot of these calls, they answer most of them, but a lot of them go unanswered, whether it's because it's during rush hour, the host or hostess is too busy, or at night when there's no one inside the store. And each one of these calls is revenue from customers that the restaurant staff is missing. And if you run the numbers across an average of 20 to 40% of calls missed, with 100 calls a day, the average restaurant could lose anywhere between $100 to $500 a day. And that adds up. Over the course of a year, you could be looking at hundreds of thousands of dollars of revenue just lost to missed calls. And these are customers that are already calling the merchant. And so what Maple has built is a intelligent voice answering solution to pick up the calls for these restaurants. And so it's extremely capable. It's able to answer the phone in an extremely human-like way, just like a host or hostess would, take orders, take reservations, take any deliveries, and all put it directly into the point of sale, which is Quantic here. And so I have a quick demo here. I'll show you a video. Let's play this now.
Hey, this is Maple at Maple Japanese Restaurant. How can I help you today?
Hey, I'd like to place an order for pickup.
Sure. What would you like to order?
What do you have available?
We have a California roll, a salmon roll, and a tuna roll.
Okay, I'll take the California roll and a tuna roll.
Great. A California roll and a tuna roll. Will that be all for today?
I'll actually take something to drink.
Sure. We have Coca-Cola, ginger ale, and iced tea available.
Can I get a Coca-Cola and an iced tea?
Sounds good. I've added that to your order. Will that be all for today?
Yeah, that'll be all.
Could I have a name for the order?
Name is Jack.
Sounds good. That's a California roll and a tuna roll.
Actually, can I change my order? I want to order instead of those two rolls. I'll just have the salmon roll, please.
No problem. So just a salmon roll, a Coca-Cola, and an iced tea. How would you like to pay?
I'd like to pay over the phone.
Great. Can you read out your card number?
My card number is 71235544362111.
And let's get
And
that
security
section.
code is.
Status.
Thank you.
And so yeah, as you can hear, the AI, the girl in this call, answers in an extremely human-like way, is able to handle any updates to the order, allergies, and yeah, just really in general complex order taking processes that even humans mess up sometimes. And after the order's placed, you'll hear that in that video, there was a payment that happened. And so in the Quantic integration, this actually is taken care of through existing Quantic payment rails. And so what happens is the agent would text the customer a payment link at the end of a call, and the customer would check their phone, click on the payment link, and then process a payment that way. And at that point, we would send it over to the kitchen, where the Quantic merchant would begin preparing the order, just in time for the customer to come and pick it up. And beyond just order taking, it's extremely intelligent. We have integrations with OpenTable, where we'll be able to take reservations and bookings. And merchants will be able to dynamically update the knowledge that the AI has access to, just similar to how you would train an employee, a new host coming in. Things like orders, special requests, whether or not they have parking or certain processes that they support or don't support. As long as that knowledge is uploaded to the AI will have sort of context around that and be able to answer questions from customers to best serve the restaurant. And so here's a pricing table, and we'll send this deck out to everyone who attended here, just so that they have you guys have sort of the materials on hand. But it's extremely affordable voice AI offering, especially compared to a lot of other similar solutions. And because of our integration with Quantic, a lot of these integration fees don't apply here. Here's a customer testimonial. We launched in this merchant. Sorry, a second. We launched in this customer early this year, and to date, have done an exceptional job with our voice AI and handling their requests, our calls. I think we've done in the order of a few thousand calls on behalf of this customer. And today we serve customers across the US. There's thousands of customers across different market segments, different geographies, different sort of cuisines, just showing you the versatility of the AI. And so the exciting piece and why you're all probably here is what's the opportunity here? Why is there this integration with Maple and Quantic? And why is it exciting, and why should you care? And the reason you should care is because of the Quantic integration with Maple, it is now extremely simple to bring your existing merchants inside of your merchant portfolio onto the Maple voice platform. And so what this means is that every merchant you bring onto the Maple voice platform will set them up with their own voice AI agent, their own knowledge base, their own phone number, and will connect directly into their Quantic point of sale. And so the menus that have been configured inside of the Quantic system will pull it directly in, and the orders that we process on the Maple voice AI side will send it directly into the Quantic system. And so there's very little setup, and each merchant that you bring over, there's an additional sort of rev share that we share with you and these sort of economics keep improving as sort of the merchants that are onboarded to the Maple platform improve. And one of the key things that we emphasize with all of our partners and distribution resellers is autonomy. So we give you all the tools that you need to bring that merchant portfolio live onto the Maple Voice platform. So there's no case where you need Maple to approve every single merchant. And so today we have over 25 reseller partners that have signed on to sell Maple, and together they've brought on thousands of merchants onto our platform. They own the full sales cycle from first touch all the way to customer success, support, onboarding, everything self-serve, so that the partner is completely unblocked, and there's rev share. And so what we worked on over the last few months with Quantic is something that makes this process of becoming a Maple reseller as easy as possible. It's very exciting. Basically, what happens is when a customer calls, the Maple AI will take the order, and then as soon as the order is done, it'll send it directly to the Quantic POS system. It'll go into the KDS, into the printers, and then the merchant will know to start preparing it. And so there's no disruption to the existing operations. You don't have to sell extra hardware or extra tablet or anything like that. And also anything that's updated in the Quantic menu, Maple will know about it and be able to react to dynamic sort of menu changes, 86 items, anything that's out of stock. It's all integrated. And so here there's a video of the full setup of a Quantic merchant on the Maple platform. And you'll see it's extremely fast. Most voice systems out there, selling anything to a restaurant is really difficult because of the sort of complexity of the vertical. And the reason why we're so excited about the Quantic integration is how easy and how seamless the integration process is. And so I'm going to start this video here. One of my colleagues, Yuri, is going to walk you through how setting up a Quantic merchant is. And you'll see here probably the length of the video is very short, and we'll go from initial invite all the way to placing an order within 5 minutes.
Hi, on this video I would like to show you how we're handling Quantic onboarding. So I already created merchant account for myself for demonstration purposes, and that's the type of email that a merchant would get initially when they're just starting. So let's go ahead and continue to Maple. Okay, so here you just enter password that you are comfortable with. And here's what we should be getting verification code on our email. So let's go ahead and enter it, create an account. Okay, so here's our onboarding starting. This is the name that the organization that invited us choose for us. And here the modules, here's the list of modules that you can select. So by default it's just FAQ only, but we are want to test the Maple orders feature, so we are also adding Maple orders. And it's just a summary. So we are directed to the Stripe page, and I'll use the test card to confirm my purchase. Okay, so after that, we just we created a standard location for us. We just enter some phone number for this location. And we are a restaurant because we are accepting orders. And here I actually don't really care about the address, but let's just choose some random one. And let's assign some random phone number. This is the phone number that agent will be using to answer your calls. Okay, so we're ready to accept orders. But first, we need to enable POS, and we are Quantic. So select Quantic here, and let's set up POS. Here, all you need is just a merchant external ID. And where to get it is like your dashboard on Quantic will look something similar to this. And you just go to the apps, and you will see Maple here. And this is where to grab this external ID from your POS. And then you just copy paste it here. And let's enable orders. Yeah, that's about it. The next thing to do is just to sync our menu. So if you have in your POS already a menu like this, you should have it already. So let's go to the menu and try to sync that menu to our system. It might take a couple of seconds, but as you can see, pick up some items already. And also important to check the menu availability. By default, it will be available 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. So, and if you want to change it, change this here and click update. But right now, I will leave it as is. So it's updated basically the whole day. So right now, and let's go ahead and try to place some order. So let's go to our phone agent and let's call this number.
Hello, thank you for calling. How can I help you today?
Hi, are you open right now?
Sure, just a second. We're open right now until 8 p.m. What can I help you with?
I would like to order some sandwich.
Okay, what kind of sandwich were you thinking of?
What do you have?
Let me see what we've got. We've got a bacon, a bell, a peanut butter and jelly, a tuna, and an egg salad sandwich. Do any of those pique your interest?
Can I have a bacon sandwich?
One sec. Your bacon sandwich has been added. Anything else for you today?
No, that's it.
All right. May I have your name to complete the order?
My name is Yuri.
Thank you. I'm going to text you a link to pay. Is that okay?
Sure.
Perfect. Let me go ahead and submit your order. Your order is placed, Yuri. The total is $17.60, and I've just texted you a payment link. Is there anything else I can help you with?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Have a great day.
So as you can see here, I already placed an order, and it's displayed in our system here, and it's also added to the POS. And I just got a text link to pay for the order, and let me go ahead and pay it real fast.
And so, yeah, you can see in under 10 minutes, you can go from a newly onboarded merchant, inviting them to having a phone number live, able to call, test, and take orders. And so that's really the power of the integration with Quantic that we've set up here. And we're really excited to get you guys on it. And so, yeah, included this slide here just to drive home how simple it is to really bring a Quantic merchant on board to the Maple platform. And so I want to include a few case studies here just to show how other resellers and other Maple partners have done with the Maple platform. And so one of our best resellers is Icon Payments. They've been selling Maple into their portfolio for months at this point, and they've propped up their dedicated sales team. They have their own ways to qualify their own merchants for the Maple product. They look at their entire merchant portfolio, see which ones are ideal fit. These are usually takeout heavy or delivery focused restaurants. Although now that we're launching more reservations and bookings product, this is sort of expanding the scope of the Maple platform. And what they'll do is, since they already have that relationship with the merchant, they'll just call up the merchants, call up their existing customers, and pitch Maple as a solution that they can easily integrate into the existing system. It's fully self-service on the Icon part, and so Icon goes into their partner portal that we set them up on. They'll invite the merchant will complete their setup and go live within a few minutes. They also prefer to provide first-line support, and Maple provides escalated sort of tier 2, tier 3 level technical support if needed. And so over they've been live for since the beginning of this year. So since then they've onboarded hundreds of merchants, added hundreds of thousands of annual revenue to their book, and have seen an overall reduction in churn across their customer base. And this is just really because of the power of the Maple platform. Restaurants enjoy being Quantic customers much more because they have this Maple product integrated into their system, and they stay for longer. They switch to Toast and other competitors a lot less, and is one of the key selling points of Maple, is that this just increases stickiness across the merchant portfolio. Here's a quote from Jeanette, who's the CEO of Icon. This is the proposal today is really one of, how do we get started with Maple? How do we become partners, and how do we bring Maple to your existing restaurant portfolio? What we'll do as a Maple partner, what we'll do for you is we'll set you up with self-serve merchant onboarding. Basically, you'll have access to a partner portal within Maple. You'll be able to see analytics across all the merchants that you have. You'll be able to invite new merchants to the platform from there. We'll provide you with all the sales enablement kits, all the materials that you might need. That's decks, one-pagers, videos, and even call scripts. We'll provide ongoing product updates and also ongoing partner and merchant support services. And we also host regular training sessions. One of the key things we communicate is, if you guys like Slack, we love Slack. We'll set up a Slack Connect, and we'll be there on there pretty much all hours of the day. And at the end of the day, we want to establish a long-term relationship with you. And so anything we can do to make sure that the experience of being a Maple partner can be better, just let us know. We'll work on it. Yeah. Here's a sample timeline that I put together. Some of our partners have gone live within a couple of weeks. It's actually quite quick. So in week 0, we'll get you started. We'll sign the agreement with Quantic and Maple. We'll get you access to the partner portal and send you all the materials instantly. In the first week, we'll talk to you, identify key target segments inside of your merchant portfolio, and sort of come up with a battle plan on how to go forward there. And we'll also provide training materials to the sales team and your sales leaders. And in week 2, we'll start onboarding merchants, bringing them live onto the Maple platform. And you'll start seeing analytics come through the partner portal. And week 3 and onward, you'll just be able to enjoy all the benefits of the Maple platform across, stickier merchants, lower churn, higher recurring revenue, and just a happier customer base. So yeah, next steps. If you want to get started, we can get you set up as soon as next week. You can do is contact us at partners@maple.inc or talk to Josh Satina at Quantic directly. So that's it. That's the presentation. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Thanks so much for joining. I'll go through the QA now. Let's see. Cool. We have a question here from, how is it, Jacques Bowden? How much do we make off the SaaS fee? So the SaaS fees, those agreements will be determined with your relationship with Quantic. And so the best person to contact about that is Josh from the Quantic team. Oh, I see. Volume is low. I guess, were we able to hear the video okay throughout? Okay, sounds good. And we'll also send the deck afterwards so that you guys can flip through this in your own time and listen to the volume and make sure that you don't miss anything. I have another question here. Can Maple review the daily specials with the customer, and what happens if the daily specials change every day? Yeah, so Maple can. review daily specials. Basically, what happens is you can set different menu availabilities inside of the Maple portal. And so you could have a specials menu for Monday, specials menu for Tuesday, and inside of those menus, because of how we've set them up, because of how extensible they are, you're able to set different availabilities for those. And so maybe Monday has a different special, Tuesday has a different special, Thursday has a different special, and Maple will be able to understand which day it can sell which special. Can I show a demo of more complicated order or examples? Yeah, totally. So Abraham, we'll be happy to send over. We actually have as a part of the resources for partners, we have a list of just call recordings for extremely complicated orders that we've run across in production. We have some merchants with 500 or more items and hundreds of modifiers. And so these are really, really complex menus. And you'll listen to the customers call it, and the AI is able to handle it flawlessly. And so, yeah, happy to share recordings of that, happy to share examples of that. We just have the demos relatively short and simple just for brevity's sake. But yeah, we'll share those materials afterwards. Can this be used at the kiosk? So that's a very interesting question, Joshua. I actually have in here a roadmap on what we've done so far and what we're working on in the future. So, at Maple, we ship products really quickly. We have a very, very strong engineering team, and every quarter we're always releasing a plethora of new features and new products. And the question about kiosk is a very interesting one and one that we've been looking at very closely. So in Q2 of 2026, we're planning launching a Maple voice agent that can be embedded inside of a kiosk, and as well as drive-through. And merchants will be able to start using it that way, take orders autonomously with a voice agent. And you'll see here there's a few other features coming down the line. Open table integration, Resi integration, more languages, waitlist support, being able to text the agent, email the agent, and WhatsApp. So we're really looking for this sort of full front of house AI host to be able to handle all these workflows and workflow automation so that the restaurant can focus on what's happening inside the store. Can Maple review the price for the product with the customer? Yeah. So Maple has full knowledge of the menu prices and is able to search through extremely large and complex menus, explain pricing, different combos. Maple's able to upsell to customers, and yeah, it's a very, very capable system. Thanks for the question. Yeah, Jackass. Jesse's asking, can the AI learn new voices? Example, train it to the actual voice of a restaurant owner. So the AI can learn new voices. So we have a sort of library of voices. Right now, it's pretty limited and set just because of the implications of rolling out a new voice. There's a lot involved. Cloning restaurant owners, frankly, I don't think this is on a roadmap anytime soon. It's not something that we've seen a lot of customers derive value from. And at the end of the day, we optimize our system to maximize orders and customer ease. Using the pre-existing Maple library of voices has shown to increase average order ticket sizes and customer satisfaction across the board. But it's definitely something we're looking at, and for sort of special circumstances, we'll look at them as they come. How does Maple handle delivery and delivery areas? This is a question from Alan. So for deliveries, at the end of a call, Maple will collect the delivery address and it'll be very similar to a normal order. It'll collect the delivery address, and Maple will dispatch its own delivery driver to go and pick up the order from the restaurant and take it to the customer. And currently, that's the only way the delivery works. So these deliveries, we integrate with basically most major driver fleets across the nation. These are DoorDash, Uber Eats. You'll see these integrations here. Maple will take the delivery from, or it'll dispatch these drivers. It'll use these existing fleets to take the order from point A to point B. We are working on sort of bring your own courier. This is coming Q1 of 2026. So bring your own courier. If they are using another delivery fleet, the merchant, or if they are already if they're using their own sort of drivers, then we also allow that. And we'll set the delivery areas within the system so that the Maple knows what to accept and what not to accept. And we'll have the integration with Quantic's delivery areas when that comes out. We have a question here. Does the order show up as an online order in Quantic when we place with Maple? I believe so. I'll have to double check on this, but I'm pretty sure. Dana, maybe you have a better understanding of this, but from the Quantic side, they should come in as like an Uber Eats order or a Grubhub order.
Well, so where I would imagine this is used the most is if you just call in, say I want to come and pick something up, it will appear in a service area based on what you've designated. So, for example, when I tested it the other day, I said, "Hey, I'd like to grab a few drinks to go," and as in doing that, that order actually popped up in my to-go service area.
Yeah, thanks, Dana. Dwayne has a question. Has the scheduled orders or deliveries live yet? Yeah, so currently we're you see here it's in Q4 of this year. We're currently testing in beta with a few merchants on those features, and they should be coming out within the next few weeks. So yes. How does it handle consumer choice payments? I'm not sure I quite understand the question here. Dana, do you?
That's a reference to like dual pricing or cash discount.
I see.
So, yeah, my assumption with how it would work is however because it ends up being a card not present transaction
Mhm.
when you receive that payment link over the phone. So I'm assuming as long as the card not present gateway is set up for that, then it would apply in that scenario. But
Yeah,
I will verify as well um, additional details, but I would think that's exactly how that works.
yeah, great, thank you. Joshua says IVR setup can allow for payment over the phone. It's native to payment processing rails. Yeah, I mean, we've looked at sort of IVR-based payment systems, and a lot of them, the existing rails are uh, not super extensible. I mean, there's a pretty significant engineering work to be done on sort of payment over the phone, and so we're always working on this, and would love to chat separately with our product team, Joshua, on what that might look like. Randy says, when will Spanish language be available? Spanish language will be available end of this year. So towards the mid to end of December, we'll have Spanish live. Yeah. Jesse says, can Maple be taught for value add questions to the customer? Oh, sorry, give me a second. Maple can be taught for value add questions to the customer example to sell desserts or drinks if a customer didn't order one. Yeah, so Maple actually has a very sophisticated upselling system with built into the platform. And so what Maple will do when it receives a new menu is it'll analyze it for upsell opportunities such as combos or drinks or desserts. And when it gets a new call, because Maple handles so many customer interactions, we have hundreds of thousands of interactions and across these. All of them have given us data to be able to know which upsells work the best with which customers. And so when we get a new customer, we'll take them through an order, and then Maple will dynamically upsell using its intelligent upselling engine. And Maple is successful at upselling 80% of the time. And so hopefully that answers your question. It's actually a really nifty feature. We just didn't have time to go over it in this presentation, but I'm happy to chat more about it and provide some resources. It'll all be in sort of the partner resource hub as well. Randy says, is it available now? Yes, Maple is available now. You can bring Maple to your merchant portfolios today. Bring merchants live. Can you show us an example of the payment link? I don't know if I have one on hand, but maybe Vic, if you could send me maybe an example of the payment link, I can pull it up. But I don't have one on hand. Make sure to follow up. I'll log this as something to do and send it out in the follow-up alongside the slides. Will AI quote the credit price for those dual pricing situation? I'm sorry, I guess sorry, I don't know the answer to this off the top of my head.
Yeah, we'll have
It
to
will definitely,
double check on that
yeah,
one. Yeah.
yeah, we'll double check on pricing information. It'll definitely be reflected in the payment link. But not quite sure about the AI being able to do it over the phone.
Yeah, if if I had to guess, they will quote the credit price, because you're going to be paying it by card regardless. So there's not going to be an option to pay by cash. So I would presume that if I have assuming what we're doing dual pricing, if it was 4% and my balance was $10, then you would be quoted 10.40 because, like I said, the assumption is you're paying by card.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Jacques says, if the customer has already placed an order with the restaurant, does payment link store their credit card number? So right now it does not. We're actually working on this in the background. So if you look here, we have voice payments planned for Q2 of 2026. What that means is we'll be able to take the order and the credit card information directly over the phone in completely natural language with the AI. And the AI will tokenize that card, store it at the gateway, and be able to process and reuse the card in the future. So think of this kind of like a voice wallet. There's a bunch of security that we're working through with PCI and a bunch of sort of the card networks and card brands to make sure that this is as secure as possible. But it's on the roadmap where we'll store the customer information and be able to pull it up and reuse it. It's a great question. We have a question here. Can the payment link be optimized with Apple Pay or Google Pay? Yes. So the payment links already have Apple Pay and Google Pay enabled on them. They should work, and makes it super easy to process a payment in just a couple clicks. Can the customer pay with a gift card through the payment link? So I don't believe so. Although maybe there's something unique about the Quantic payment links. This is actually a question maybe for Dana.
I'm assuming right now that a gift card option is not available, only because traditionally when we send, like whether you're doing something like invoicing, for example, there's not an option to pay by gift card. But I would think that if there was a demand for this, that it would be an integration component of Quantic that could be developed, or maybe it even is in the process of being developed.
Yeah. Um, Yeah, great. Thanks, Dana. Joshua, I saw your message. We'll send you an email. Jesse, what is a typical scenario in your experience when Maple may need to hand off to a real person? How often does this occur typically? So this is a great question, actually, and it's a bit nuanced. Um, the Maple, because it only knows as much as the restaurant owner gives us or the merchant gives us as far as information, a lot of cases where Maple needs to transfer to a human is cases where Maple just doesn't have the answer. So, for example, when we first set up Maple and a customer calls and asks about parking, and Maple can't find this information in its knowledge base, Maple will need to hand off the call to the customer or to the store, sorry. And then the store will take the call and answer, and that will solve that transfer, of that call, that customer request. And then what Maple will do is it'll look at the call logs from there and then suggest additional knowledge to the merchant. So Maple will listen in on that call and then basically go back to the merchant and be like, hey, I saw your staff knows this information. I saw that you guys do offer parking. Would you like me to add this to my knowledge base? And in this way, we get Maple to start learning more and more about each merchant's business. It starts adapting to the functioning of the merchant, and we see transfer rates from when it goes live usually hovers around 15%. And then the more information it knows, this drops to well below 2-3%. And so yeah, Maple's pretty capable in that sense. Can Maple review the daily specials, then give customer options to press 1, place a to-go order, or press 2 for store hours? This is a question from Jacques. So Maple doesn't allow, we don't have IVR built into the Maple system. Sort of press 1, press 2, these kinds of things. You can just ask Maple, like, hey, can I place a to-go order? Or hey, what are the store hours? And Maple will be able to just dynamically answer based on that. Last question from Jesse. Can orders be placed without payment? I assume they can, but I haven't heard it answered specifically. Idea is the customer pays when they get to the restaurant. Um, Vic, do you know if this is uh,
It
possible?
is, yes.
Okay, okay, cool. Great. Then yes, Jesse, this is enabled on, so we just have some integrations where it's not enabled. But for Quantic, this is enabled, and customers are able to pay when they get to the store. And so you're able to place the order. Then Maple will be like, hey, can I send you a payment link? Is that okay? If the customer is like, no, I want to pay when I get to the store, Maple will place the order anyway, and then tell the customer to pay when they get to the store. Yokesh says, well, if Maple, does phone ring at the restaurant location or is it silent? So the answer is it is silent. It's pretty great. You go to some restaurants with Maple enabled, the phone rarely ever rings. It only rings when there's a transfer. So say a customer wants to talk to a human or wants to talk to a store representative, then we'll transfer Maple, transfer the customer and call over to the store. And at that point, the phone will ring. Otherwise, all calls going into Maple would just be automatically forwarded to the Maple phone number, and there would be no phones ringing at the restaurant. We have a question here. Can Maple add a special request from a customer? Yes, it can. So Maple is trained for complex orders. So anything from modifiers, nested modifiers, to special requests, allergies, all of these things, Maple will add them in a place called customer comments. Not modifiers, but the allergies and the special requests, we'll add it as a custom comment. And then it's up to the store or the merchants to decide whether or not they want to accommodate. It'd be very similar to, say, Uber Eats. We have a question here. What is the payment gateway used for the payment link? The payment gateway is provided by Quantic. And so we use Quantic payment links. Dana, maybe you can jump in here.
So yeah, so you're absolutely right. So whatever it is that we use as Quantic, so for example, we've used auth.net for card not present. We've used Deja Vu for card not present. So if you were to use it today, that's what the payment gateway would be.
Thanks, Dana. We have a question here. What happens if the store loses internet or phone service? Does Maple still accept the order? This is a great question. So Maple would still accept the order. What the merchant can do in that case, if they lose internet or phone service, is they can either text or log into the Maple portal and turn off ordering when that happens on their phone, on their cell. They just need to go find something connected to the internet to turn Maple off. And then Maple would just tell customers like, hey, store's not accepting orders right now, but I can still help you out. And we have another question here. Are calls recorded for quality purposes? Yes, so calls will be recorded on the Maple platform. Any call from a customer to a merchant is recorded, and so the merchant can go through and review the call logs, listen to them, see the transcript, just so that they can see, the full picture of what's going on, how Maple is handling the system. We have a question here from Jesse. Okay, I lied. One more question. It's okay, Jesse. Many restaurants we serve use VIP systems like Uma and have answering agents already. Can a phone number be assigned as a redirect from Maple from existing assistants? Yeah, so we actually have a lot of customers using existing VoIP systems like Uma. Actually, we have many customers on Uma today, and so it's a very simple setup process. What you would do is go into the Uma portal. And within Uma, you can turn on something called call forwarding. You just enable the call forwarding at all times over to the Maple system. And then any calls that are coming into maybe their existing lines are redirected to Maple. Maple's handling the order and then sending it directly to Quantic.
All right, folks, a lot of great questions. Any more questions for the teams today? All right. Well, Aiden, thank you so much for joining us today. We see the future is now and AI is popping up everywhere. But folks, thank you so much for joining as well. As you know, these public demos are recorded and we will post them on YouTube as soon as they're done processing. We will also soon be communicating what next month's public demo will be, so stay tuned for that. And with that being said, once again, Aiden and you guys, thank you so much for joining and being part of this. Thank you so much for this integration. And if you guys do have any other questions, we'll be able to make sure that you have the contact information and a copy of this slide deck. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your Thursday, and we'll see everyone next time.